Okay, welcome back to part two. Today we are going to be focusing on the present and future. If you're just joining us, there is a part one or a day one. This is a goal setting series specifically designed for working moms. We have busy lives, we've got a lot going on. And so I want to share with you my proven process that has helped me as a working single mom for the last 5 years. To follow along throughout this series, you can download the workbook. I've got the link in the video notes, so be sure to download that, and it will have everything I talk about here right within there. So today we are going to be dreaming up what we plan to do with our one wild and beautiful, precious life. So we're going to be answering the question, what do we want most out of life? What are we wanting right now? What are we needing in this phase of life? What are your passions? What is your purpose? And how do we bring all of those pieces together? If you let yourself dream without any limitations, what would your life look like? And what would be on your list? What would it feel like? How would you spend your time if you could do anything in the world, no limitations? What would your dream be? So to help us identify, areas that are maybe out of alignment with that dream, maybe areas that we need to work on most, we're going to do an exercise that I call the life wheel. This is getting a big picture look at where our life is. This is such a powerful yet simple exercise. I've been doing it every year for the last almost decade now. And the first time I did it was like mind blowing. So I want to share it with you today. You're going to pick 8 areas of focus. I usually do health, career and business, relationships, money, spirituality, family, creativity, whatever you want to do, love. And then you're going to write them on the wheel. This is in your workbook. And then you're going to identify your level of satisfaction in each area. So 8 to 10 would be extremely satisfied, 5 to 7 is somewhat satisfied, and 1 to 4 is dissatisfied. Then you're going to connect the dots of your spokes of the wheel. So it's going to end up looking something like this. So this was mine from 2018. And, there were some areas that were like, not so great. Like I was going through a divorce at the time. I had just had my daughter, and so I was feeling kind of snarky and would write myself little notes on that one. And so I was pretty dissatisfied in my life at the moment, except for my family. My family was killing it. They were supporting me 100%. So that part was good. But it looked like a lopsided wheel. And we want it to be more circular. We want it to be in harmony. So as you're looking at your own life wheel, you can ask yourself these questions. Why did you give yourself a low score in this category? What score would you like to accomplish? If I'm starting at a 1, like my love life at the time, maybe it's not realistic for me to go to a 10 in the next month. So maybe in the next month or 3 months or 6 months, I want to be at a 5, or I want to be at a 7. Whatever I think is kind of realistic for me, or maybe in line with the rest of where my life wheel is at. What is your perfect score in the exact category? This is not about perfection. This is not about getting to a 10 in everything. This is about getting to where you feel your best. And then which category do you want to focus on first? So while my love life was falling apart, that wasn't my biggest priority at the time. My biggest priority was rest and learning how to take care of myself, my mental health, my emotional health, my spiritual health. That was my biggest thing at this point in my life. And so it doesn't necessarily need to be your lowest. And so it's what works for you. So your next steps, complete your bucket list. That's all you got to do today. If you haven't yet, go back and do the homework from part 1. But today, complete your life list or your bucket list and the reflection questions. And then tomorrow, we're going to talk about actually setting our goals. And so this is when we get into the nitty gritty, and I can't wait to see you then.